Computer. Hey, what's up, Rick?
How you doing, Kevin?
Good. How are you?
Happy Friday. Doing well.
Yeah, happy Friday. Any big weekend plans?
No, I'm going through World Cup withdrawals. So I don't know. We'll have to see what else we can do this weekend.
Okay, very cool. All right, so today we've got some hot news. This came out yesterday, hot off the
Yeah.
press, that Procore is doing some AI things. And
hmm
I thought, given the recent releases that we've been doing teardowns on, and especially with companies trying to figure out how to position AI in their products,
Yeah.
this one might be a good one to look at.
Yeah. It's a new product release, a little different from some of the ones we've been doing recently. So let's dive in. The headline says Procore introduces digital coworker packages, expands AI agent library, and previews skills to help construction teams put AI to work. So there's a lot going on there.
Yeah. What's your first take?
That there's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
It's by the time I got to the end of the headline, I had to kind of go back up to the beginning to remember what I had read. So a lot to unpack. And then we haven't even gotten to the subhead yet. So I just hope I can kind of, as a reader, my first thought is, wow, there's a lot going on. Let's see what this is all about.
Totally. I think it's got a little bit of an exciting twist though. So I'd say they've piqued my curiosity. And so diving into the subhead, introducing digital coworker packages and 20 new pre-built AI agents that help construction organizations realize value from AI, whether they're just getting started or building custom AI workflows. I love the whether they're just getting started. I could put myself in the room of uh, whomever, from a brand marketing perspective, has this message they want to convey and made sure to insert that. They won that conversation and made sure to insert it in the subhead.
Yeah, I guess after reading the head and subhead, I'm left wondering a little bit about like what actually is this? I'm seeing lots of sexy words, but I don't quite know what they're actually selling me yet.
Yeah. I will say for some from the industry perspective, obviously they bought Data Grid, shout out Tiago, and he's in charge of AI now at Procore. So I believe that's the position he took. So I'm sure this has a lot to do with that.
Hmm.
And yeah, so let's dig in and see what we can learn.
Good thing to note offhand here that they are listed on the New York Stock Exchange, so that is going to affect press releases to some degree. So let's just take a look, and if anything kind of jumps out at me that I think might be related to that, I'll make note of it.
Okay. Carpinteria, California, July 23rd, yesterday. Procore Technologies, the leading global provider of construction management software, today announced three new digital coworker packages that make it easier for construction organizations to adopt and scale AI. It's a good first line. I'm a little confused on because up top they're talking about 20, now they're talking about three. We'll have to figure out what's going on here.
Mm.
A key upcoming capability, Procore Skills, enables organizations to teach Procore AI their own processes, standards, and best practices. So AI agents consistently apply company-specific ways of working across every project. I like it so far. It's well written.
Yeah, I would just say I feel like the audience that they're speaking to needs to be pretty well versed in a lot of this stuff because they're not hand holding you; they're just going right in on it. And I think if you don't know, if you're not really familiar with a lot of these things, it may still be a little bit of a head scratcher. But I think if this is something where you're already, leaning into it, yeah, you're probably saying, "Sounds good. Tell me more."
Yeah, totally. I do agree with that. I think that they're relying on folks to have some AI literacy, and especially when they're using words like skills. I mean, I'm thinking of Claude skills. Let's assume and hope that that connection I'm making. I think everyone else is going to be making that connection as well. So let's hope they're using that terminology in the same way.
Yeah. One other thing I'll note from that initial paragraph, Today announced three new digital coworker packages. Okay, that's fine. Are they, when you say you announcing them, that isn't necessarily the same as is available today. So, I'd like to see in the first paragraph, if it is something that's available today, to say that. Is this something that is they're announcing it today? It's going to be available in Q1 of 2027, or if I'm a Procore customer, is this something I can start diving into right now?
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, we don't know yet. We don't know yet if this is a GA, if this is coming soon. So that's a
Right.
good call out, Rick. And I guess I would say my understanding to this point of the release is basically we've got these digital coworker packages, which I'm not sure exactly what that means, but we've got AI agent library. So I guess they've got a 20 AI agents that they talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I understand what that is. And then they've introduced these skills, which I'm assuming are like Claude skills within each agent. So let's keep reading to learn more.
Yeah. The new packages are designed to meet customers at every stage of AI adoption. They got a digital coworker starter pack, the digital coworker pro, and digital coworker enterprise. So they've broken this thing down. So wherever you are in terms of company size or where you are in terms of your adoption curve, it looks like they have something for you.
Yeah, and I'm starting to get a sense of what they mean now. So the
Yeah.
digital coworker starter package includes deep search, submittal review, RFI, daily log, and contract review. Okay, so it makes sense now that we're talking about these three buckets. So here are the three buckets. They're laying them out. And within each of those buckets, we've got these agents. So
Mhm.
the starter package is those five I just mentioned. Now we've got Digital Coworker Pro expands access to a larger library, so more agents, tackling things like project planning and bidding to safety, quality, and risk management. Okay, so a little bit more complex workflows, maybe more sophisticated AI agents. I wonder if you have to pay more for those. We'll find out.
Yeah.
And then enterprise, additional AI agents, Agent Studio for building custom AI agents and advanced customization capabilities that allow organizations to teach AI how they work and automate company specific workflows. Okay, this is very interesting. I'd be
Yeah.
curious now, right? Why would I invest in Procore's AI as compared to, I don't know, any of the other LLMs out there? So that's when I start thinking about building AI agents, I'm thinking about this relative to the large language model providers and what that competition looks like. So I'd be
Right.
curious if they address that later on.
Looks like we then go into a quote. Let's see here. Every construction company is at a different stage in its AI journey, and AI should reflect that, said Tiago Da Costa, SVP of AI and Data at Procore. Our new digital coworker packages give customers a simple path to adopt AI in the way that makes sense for their business, from getting started with our pre-built AI agents that understand construction to teaching those agents their company's standard operating procedures through skills and ultimately building custom AI workflows. The result is AI output that consistently reflects how the company operates, along with a way to preserve institutional knowledge as experienced workers retire, change roles, or leave the organization and new team members come on board.
Yeah, it's a good quote. I like it. And it's, yeah, so there we go. Confirmed, Tiago. So cool.
Mhm.
An expanded library of AI agents built for construction. Since introducing its first AI agents in May, Procore has expanded its library to 20 agents purpose built for construction, helping teams reduce repetitive administration work so they can focus on higher value decisions across safety, scheduling, change management, bidding, and more. New AI agents include. So I guess now we had the three buckets. We talked about kind of some of the agents within those buckets, and now they're just maybe picking out three that they want to highlight even further. That's my understanding.
Yeah, it is a little bit. There's a lot of like, well, there's this, then there's that, then there's this, then there's that, and it does get a little bit confusing here.
Yeah, so I'm a little curious how these differ from the, I guess
Right.
they're double click is my understanding. So let's see. Site safety agent identifies safety hazards from site photos, videos, drawings. Okay. Schedule analyst agent reviews schedules and project activity to help identify sequencing issues, delays, dependencies, and potential schedule risks. And change analysis agent reviews changes, RFIs, drawings, specs, project records to identify scope impacts, cost exposure, schedule risk, and required follow-up actions. These AI agents extend Procore AI beyond answering questions to automating work and driving action.
You know what I'm not seeing here, Kevin, is any explicit call out of human in the loop. I'm seeing a lot about AI agents doing this and doing that. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe in the headline it maybe called them coworkers. Um, but I'm not necessarily getting that sense now. I'm being told all these things that the AI agents can do, but not really kind of, I don't even call them safety protocols, but like how and when are humans kind of part of this process?
Yeah, that's a fair call out. And we've done that in other press releases for clients where
Yeah,
they're using AI, introducing AI in these critical workflows, and people want to have any fears mitigated about the data being wrong because sometimes AI is wrong. I mean, we know
yeah.
that. Ask ChatGPT or Claude to like make an image and then ask them to edit the image, right? It changes the whole thing around.
Or sometimes the human input is wrong. It isn't even a matter of the
Fair.
AI being wrong, but you got to check your work. Maybe you gave it the wrong information.
Yeah. So maybe they'll address that. And another thing I'm kind of looking for here, it's like there's a lot of startups doing things with AI. There's obviously like tons of construction companies just connecting their data to Claude. I think Procore's in a position as like one of the juggernauts
Yeah.
in this space to really put a stake in the ground about why AI with Procore is the bet that construction companies should make as compared to going with OpenAI, Claude, some startup. So far, I don't have that feeling yet of why they are the one to bet on, other than I'm a customer already. They're introducing AI.
Yeah, but that's a great point. They wield a pretty big hammer. Why not go ahead and drop it here and talk about the number of customers you have or previous AI adoption by whatever, kind of metrics or stats you can put out there to kind of show credibility and validity here.
Yeah, beyond just the name, which obviously introduces credibility, but
Yeah.
they could have laid the hammer down a bit more. Okay, you want to take this one?
Where are we here? Helping
S-
organizations scale AI with confidence.
Yep.
As organizations expand AI across more teams and projects, they need the ability to both tailor AI to the way they work and manage its adoption at scale. Skills combine construction expertise and Procore platform knowledge with a company's own processes, standards, and best practices. Customers can create skills using plain language prompts or company documents, such as standard operating procedures or project standards, helping codify institutional knowledge so AI agents consistently apply best practices across every project. I'm reading this and it sounds good, but I'm also starting to think this sounds complicated potentially.
Hmm.
I would like there to be a little bit of talk here about, do they have like an onboarding tutorial? Is there some sort of like hand holding going on while you're doing this? Do they have like a white glove customer service that you can call in for help? Or how does that kind of, work if this is if you're just starting out on this or if you're running into problems? Because
Yeah.
coding all of a sudden, even if it's in plain language, a lot can go wrong.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Let's see what else we learn. So every digital coworker package also includes Control Tower. That's kind of cool. I like the branding. Giving administrators visibility into AI usage and credit consumption by agent, project, or team member. Together, Skills and Control Tower help organizations confidently scale AI by embedding company best practices while providing the visibility and governance needed to manage adoption across projects and teams. Yeah, this is really, really good. I love the branding Control Tower. I think that's really fun. And I think it's cool that they're building in the guardrails to make sure that costs don't get off the rails. So let's keep moving on to customers using Procore AI to work faster and reduce risk. Leading construction firms, including Consigli Construction, Haskell, and level 10 are working with Procore as early adopters to help inform the development of Procore AI, bringing AI into the construction workflows their teams already use. That's good. They're dropping some names. It's easy for them to do. Haskell, one of the nation's largest design build firms, uses Procore AI to search, analyze, and act on project information in seconds instead of manually reviewing drawings, RFIs, and submittals. By deploying Procore AI across its project data, Haskell reduces submittal reviews from 7 days to just 10 minutes while improving access to critical information and reducing administrative work. That's a big, bold claim.
Yeah.
Across the lifecycle of a project, these efficiencies translate into meaningful productivity gains by reducing admin work and accelerating critical project decisions. It's a bold claim, Rick.
It is. I think overall, this is helping me now understand a little bit like, oh, okay, here's what I'm going to gain, not just what it does, but what I'm actually going to be benefiting by using something like this.
Yeah, I'd want to double click into that claim.
Yeah.
Be the product marketer in me is like, all right, let's find out what they're talking about here. So it's about getting the decisions faster with high confidence. The more we can reduce that cognitive load of trying to find the right information, the more efficient our teams become. Director of Innovation at Haskell.
Yeah.
So that's they got a solid quote from Hamza. So I
Right.
mean he's a good land as far as quotes go.
Yeah. And then now in this next part, we get to something that I touched upon earlier, right? General availability of new digital coworker packages. All three digital coworker packages are now generally available and include Control Tower. Skills will be, sorry, and include Control Tower. Skills will begin rolling out across digital coworker packages in August. Agent Studio is available exclusively in the Digital Coworker Enterprise package. That's the information I was looking for as a consumer. I would have liked to see that a little bit higher up in the release.
Yeah, I would agree. Okay, so we've gotten through this whole release. I think it's generally good. My biggest thing that I would like to see and to up level this would going back to our combo earlier. I think just Procore putting a stake in the ground about why AI with Procore is the bet for the future. Other than the obvious, which is like, oh, you're a customer already, then we're
Right.
adding AI, which everyone else is doing. I want to know why they are the bet. And I think they could have landed that. They could have kind of done some boasting uh, about their organization, perhaps. And yeah, so that would be that'd be my main
Yeah.
critique.
When you're going in this, especially in something like AI, where more and more people are looking at it, not only do you want to tell people what you've got, but you want to kind of proactively or preemptively knock down any kind of questions they may have. So, right. So if I'm reading this and thinking, oh, well, if Procore has it, do other outlets have this? Do other organizations have this or companies have this? And for Procore to say, you know, ours is better because, or ours integrates with yours and others don't, or, what are those sorts of defensible, moats that Procore has that they can state right away? So before I even think about using somebody else, they're telling me there's no reason to look somewhere else.
Right. And like, yes, I would agree with that. Um, and I'm sure they're building this on top of some LLM that exists with one of the big players.
Mm,
It'd be interesting to know about some of those details, perhaps, and yeah, why going with them? I mean, these companies are spending deca billions of dollars building models, OpenAI,
yeah.
Anthropic, companies like that. It's like I want to know why Procore is gonna be the right partner for me.
Hmm.
And perhaps they're using one of those partners. The other thing I wanted to call out too is the packaging here. I'm starting to think about this. So like introduces digital coworker packages. And I'm assuming this is how they're selling it.
Yeah.
I'm starting to wonder if these packages get in the way of the outcomes I'm trying to drive in terms of I want to understand how these things are going to help me. How you price and package things maybe doesn't necessarily help me, right? In terms of the news here. The AI agent library and the skills, that's
Yeah.
kind of the part that maybe has value for me. So, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think how they're pricing and packaging this is getting in the way, perhaps, of the as the consumer of this news understanding it?
Yeah, it's certainly something I start to think about when I see packages. I'm like, all right, there's going to be, the premium package and all of those sorts of things. I don't think if you scroll down to the bottom, do they take you to, is there a call to action or anything? There's to learn more, visit. So maybe pricing is there. I'd like there to be a clear, kind of call to action on how you can find out more as it relates to things like the pricing.
Yeah. But even just, I mean, pricing aside, just the packaging itself, I mean, um, might just be info that gets in the way of the of understanding. And I'm just pulling up their AI page out of curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
Construction AI built to get work done. Cool.
Yeah,
That could be a whole nother episode going through this and taking a look at it.
yeah. And just to think about the press release, Kevin, and new product announcements, not necessarily the sexiest thing and not necessarily the most newsworthy thing all the time. If you're an editor at a publication, it's entirely possible you may say, oh, you want to get this news out? Great, buy an ad. But that doesn't mean it's not worth doing.
Sure.
Even if you're not getting, significant broad pickup on product news, it's still a good idea to put together a press release, still put it out over a wire, and push it out through other channels, whether that's social media or what have you. You just always want to be showing that you are building, you are innovating, you are pushing, your product to be at the next level. So a quick glance didn't show that there was a ton of pickup on this, but that doesn't mean it's not worth doing.
Yeah. Agreed. Um, and now I'm seeing too, so when I see this, skills will be rolling out across the digital coworker packages in August. I know from doing these at Autodesk, because they're publicly traded, they can only project like if they say something's going to come, if it's not out within 3 months of when they say it comes out, I think it's like a regulation requirement that that I think it might be Sarbanes-Oxley. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, so they're low on the risk factor here. I mean, it's going to be in August, which is like in 7 days. So uh no, I don't even know if there's much value in calling that out other than perhaps they had to. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I guess worth doing. Decent job. Packages I would have rethunk if that was necessary in here. And being bolder and putting a stake in the ground on why betting on AI with Procore is the right move. That those are kind of my three critiques. What are you rating these guys, Rick? 1 out of 10.
Yeah. I think what we're seeing, Kevin, is that there is kind of a water line for press releases. And any professional organization is not going to put out a press release that on a scale of 1 to 10 is like a 4 or something like that. And it's exceptionally hard to put out a press release that someone's going to say, wow, I'm going to read this tonight in my free time. It was so exciting and captivating, right? You're not going to get a whole lot of tens. So, this probably comes around a 7. I appreciate that they put in some bullet points to kind of break it up a little bit. I would have liked to have seen more in the way of headers, maybe to again break it up a little bit. So yeah, I'm thinking this is around a 7.
Yeah. I think in terms of I was thinking the same thing. I think in terms of what they have, like the substance of what they have to say to the world, the news, 7 out of 10. I think from a writing and structure and how they delivered it, 7.5 out of 10. And so that's always an interesting thing too. It's like the bifurcation of like the news part could be like really high value, and then how is it executed?
Yeah.
Then there's the execution, but they might not have the best news, and the marrying of those two
Right.
kind of creates your score. So I think we're agreed on this one, and be curious to see kind of how they keep momentum with this news here.
Yeah, I have no doubt that somebody like Procore is not stopping here, right? It'll be interesting to see what it looks like in a year as AI growth, is almost exponential. They could have a huge number of new developments in the course of a year.
Absolutely. All right, Rick. Well, until next time.
Sounds good, Kevin.
Thanks.